Hi guys, it's Floss. Welcome back to another FlossTube video. In today's video, I'll be talking about my March cross-stitching update. If that's what you're interested in, then keep watching. Today is actually 30th of March, a Thursday. I am still having my annual leave, so here I am, able to make a video on a weekday, which is very rare. As usual, my videos will be divided into different chapters down in the description box, and at which point, if there's something you want to skip, make sure to go to the chapters you care about. And my videos tend to be in the order of haul, cross-stitching updates, so my whips and plans, may it be filming plans or stitching plans, and also life updates at the end. And at which point, if you have any questions about any of my whips or accessories, check the description box first. If the information is not there, then feel free to leave me a comment. I normally reply to my comments pretty quickly. And as usual, I will provide you with as much information as I can in the video. If not, hopefully the information will be down in the description box as well. I tend to write a lot of links. I want to make sure it's easy to find what you want to find if I have enabled you. And in terms of haul, I will also include the hobby budget situation, because I do have $50 per month hobby budget, and generally I'm pretty good at sticking to it. I'll use that to purchase cross-stitch related projectiles, accessories, etc. And let's just jump right into it. So I have purchased quite a bit this month because the opportunity presented itself and I went into debt very quickly, so I thought I'd just buy for the next couple of months and be done with it and just wait until I can purchase again many months down the track. So I will show you what I've purchased first, and then we'll talk about how much debt I'm in. I've got my notes here because otherwise I will not remember. So the first thing I purchased this month was a kit. Now, if you've watched any of my videos really, you would know that I tend to buy things from Aussie Cross Stitch Stash Unload. It is a Facebook group for people in Australia to do stash, and most of the time the items were put up quite cheap or at reasonable price. And I have purchased so many things from there, sometimes rare kits as well. You just gotta be quick because the group is getting bigger and bigger, and some people, I don't know what they do all day. I have a suspicion that they literally just sit and jump on any opportunity because things get sold so quick. So I have always wanted to try 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓮 heirloom collection, because one of my goals is to try as many, I guess, cross-stitch designers as I can, and I have heard quite a few things about this heirloom collection, but I know it's quite hard to find, and the ones I want to find are pretty much impossible to get now. And then I saw this kit, so I thought, well, I need to buy it, otherwise I'll never be able to try anything from this collection. So it is called Southern Bells. It is a pretty one, and judging by the preview, it has a lot of half stitches, so it shouldn't be too hard to stitch, but who knows. As I said, everything from this collection is rare now because, I don't know, I think they didn't produce that much and they just quickly went out of print many years ago, probably. What was this made? I don't know. But this one is going to be 44.5 centimeters by 35.6 centimeters. So 17.5 inch by 14 inch. And it will be stitched on 28 count ivory even weave. So I purchased it. Well, to be honest, it's not one of those kits that I really wanted from the collection, but I just thought, you know, I need to get it, especially it's put up at a pretty reasonable price. So I got this, I want to say for $50, and then the shipping was $13.50. So this whole thing was $63.50. That's the first thing. And then I got into contact with Crafty Leeny. She is a local fabric dyer, I guess. I think she's in Queensland, but I'm not sure. I have bought one thing from her before and I have asked her questions quite a few times and she's very helpful and she's very upfront with how much everything's gonna cost and how long it's gonna take in terms of doing a test dye and the actual dyeing process. So I contacted her about a custom hand-dyed fabric for 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓮, which is a custom craft. I think so. Custom craft chart. I don't have it with me now, so I'll put up a preview here. I purchased this chart from Rustique as well, and that chart actually asked for 14 count navy Aida, but I wanted to do something different. At first, I thought about 28 count navy, but I don't think I can find it, so I had to resort to hand dyed. Sorry, I was waiting for a phone call. I don't know when it's gonna get here, so I had to pick up the phone, but it's not, they just hung up, so it's probably just scam. What was I saying before? Oh yes, hand dye fabric. So I was originally looking at, I think number 12 Stitch Co. They had a very dark blue fabric. It wasn't cheap. I think it was probably about $60, I want to say. Then I thought I'd just ask Crafty Leeny and see whether, you know, I could get it a bit cheaper. And it was a bit cheaper. And then I got it, even though I knew I was in debt. So that's the one. It is, I think it's sort of on the grey side on camera. In real life it's a little bit darker. But yeah, Leeny calls it Nebula. It's like a dark 28 count linen dark blue. I think it will look quite nice. And this one cost me $61.60 including shipping. So it's possibly $52 plus $9.60, I think. Then Oh boy. I was always looking for cheap threads because I don't know, I think DMC threads keep going up in prices, and I kept thinking, oh, maybe I should collect the whole collection, but then I never did it because, you know, I've got a hobby budget to think about. So then I saw this thing on Facebook Marketplace. I've never purchased anything from there, and this one was, I think, advertised as 350 plus skeins of DMC for $250. And then I contacted the guy who was selling on behalf of his wife whether 200 was okay, and he said wife said it's fine. So then I picked up that night, and they came in these thread pouches. I don't think I've seen them before. And they were labeled in this 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓮 thread list. And I know it doesn't look like there's a lot because I've put most of them in my Pip and Chip floss chips already, and this is just duplicate. But yeah, they were very neat. Obviously it's not the full set, but it was pretty much from the 200s to like the start of 3800s, and I've only got a few colors missing, and a few of them are not sort of close to full skein. Some of them were used. But yeah, I thought it was really good value. And I actually made a community post about it because I was pretty proud of having found this. So yeah, they came in these 3 pouches, and they were very organized, all sort of looped onto the thread cards really nicely, and all written down in the number in the master cards. Yeah, so I'm really happy. So then that's another $200 that I spent. Well, it was good and all, but the problem is now I actually have the ability of starting a lot of things possibly without having to purchase many threads. So that's quite dangerous. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, some of the things I'm like, oh, it would be nice to stitch this, but oh, damn, I have to, you know, kit it up. But now with this, I might be able to stitch it, and it's very scary. Regardless, I was very proud of having found this. And what else did I buy? And then I bought 2 charts from Etsy, Soda Stitch. I have been sort of keeping an eye on Soda Stitch for a while because I kept hearing about it, and apparently their patterns are easy to stitch and very fun and very cute, which I do acknowledge. Their things are so damn cute, but unfortunately I don't. So even though some of the pattern I stitch for myself, I do think about the practicality of displaying it in my house, which doesn't quite jibe with things too cute. So I never really bought anything. But then there is a wedding coming up the end of the year, and it's I guess I'm quite close with the colleague who's going to get married. It's actually 2 colleagues. I'm closer to the guy than to the lady, but the lady is Korean. So I remember the guy told me she was thinking about doing this, I guess, traditional Korean ceremony thingy wearing hanbok, but he was like, nah, it's too much effort, I can't be bothered. So then I bought this one. I'll put the preview here, called Our Wedding Day. It's a couple kissing each other wearing hanbok, and I thought that would hopefully make up for the regret of her not being able to do that for her wedding. And it is really, really cute. So I'm planning to change the hair colors because they're both black haired. Yeah, even the lady didn't dye her hair, so I changed the hair color to sort of black, dark grey combination. And then I bought another one. I don't know what it's called, but it's like a couple in Santorini. I'll put a preview here too. This one's a little bit bigger than the one I was talking about before, Our Wedding Day. And I have said it in my previous videos in another channel, I do want to stitch one for every country JP, my hubby, and I have been to, as I guess a memorabilia of our travels. So I have been looking for a good Santorini one, hoping that something would have captured that beautiful sunset we saw at 𝐸𝐸, but I have not found anything up to standard yet. So I saw this one and I thought maybe if I bought some kind of sunset-y hand-dyed fabric, I would manually create that sunset, sort of. But the pattern has a girl and a boy looking very happy together in 𝐸𝐸, sort of. So that's it, and it should be quick to stitch as well. So I bought 2 patterns and they were together $13.95. And then that's not the end. In last video I said I wanted to kit up the funny coffee one. Once stitched up, it will be a gift for a local cafe that JP and I tend to frequent, and the owners are really nice. It's a family-run cafe and they're actually expanding as well. So I think it's an older couple with the daughter and the son-in-law, so 4 people. They have a lot of like cute photos framed in their cafe, and they tend to play Studio Ghibli music in the background, only where like, they can hear, because you know it's in a shopping center, it's quite noisy in general. I originally wanted to just stitch on stashed fabric. I think I had planned to stitch on maybe a 28 count white linen, but then I thought, oh, it's so boring. So I started looking for a fabric that might suit the pattern, and then I found it on Sew It All. It is, I think, Rustique 28 count. Sorry, it's Rustique 28 count. Should be even weave, I think. I bought the smallest size. It looks like this. So I actually used the phone app to see which one would look good. Oh, actually, I think it's printed even weave. I was torn between this one and I think an iced latte one that was slightly on the pink side, and the other other side's just empty. And then both Laura and hubby said this one looks better. So I decided to buy this one. And since I was gonna buy something anyways and pay shipping, I ended up buying the threads I need to kit up that project as well. Even though So It All sells threads a little bit more expensive than where I normally buy threads from, which is JK's Cross Stitch Supplies. Yeah, so there's a couple. There's actually another color as well for our wedding day, but I used it. So, spoiler alert. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bought the thread and 5 colors. And altogether it was $34.65. So, last time when I saw you, it was the end of Feb. And at that time I had $65.70. And in March I get another $50. And after all those purchases, I am $258 in debt. And that will take me 6 months to get back to positive. And when it's April, I will be $208 in debt. So I won't be able to buy anything for a long, long time. That's why the moment I realized I'm about to be in debt, I went a bit crazy. Not as crazy as some people per a couple of months, to be fair. And that's the end of the haul. Okay, now I will show you what I've been working on this month. You should have known this already. I went to New Zealand for about a week. So last Monday to Sunday. So yeah, I can say a week. And because of that, there was a lot of preparations to do. I was freaking out for a bit. And during the trip, I didn't stitch that much. So this month hasn't been as productive as I'd like, but I will probably say that every month. So the first thing I worked on is a new start. Oh boy. It is Ancient Thistle Scissor Keep. I just call it Thistle Fob. It looks like this. I got this kit from my mother-in-law, who possibly found it in an op shop, and it had everything still contained in it, even the needle, and the needle was stuck in the fabric, so it actually had some rust mark. And this is where I'm up to. Okay. How do I... this way. This way. Oh, sorry. So I have made an Instagram post bitching about this because I hate this one so much. Because it's so small and it actually doesn't have many colors of thread. So there's no number and it's literally just description. You know, this section you use, for example, dark purple, and the other one light purple, and the other one darkened light gray or something. And because of the description, I got the color wrong so many times and I had to frog it. So even though I worked on it for 3 days, which was 4 hours and 40 minutes, this is how much I got done. Not much at all. And I was so frustrated with this, I decided to just leave it alone for a bit, because the moment, every time I picked it up and saw it, I got so upset and angry. It's a whole thing. So yeah, I was really hoping when I picked it up that I could just finish it in the month before I left for the New Zealand trip, but it didn't happen. So that is my first new start and the first thing I worked on this month. And what else did I do? The next thing I worked on was coffee break. And this is the preview. It is by 𝐷esignWorks. It is a, do you call this a quake, a sampler? I'm not sure, but it's a collage of 12 coffees. So you stitch the coffee, you stitch the words and the borders. And it's stitched 2/1 on 14 count. I used everything from the kit, even the 𝐷𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓽𝓾. And once stitched, it will be 12 by 16 inch. So it is not small. And I'll show you how much I stitched. Where is it? Here. And this is where I'm up to. Now I'm officially halfway, I reckon. So I'll put a comparison left and right. I'm pretty sure last time when you saw it, the borders back stitch wasn't done. But yeah, this month I did that and also finished everything down here. It's looking great. Some of the French knots aren't done. I thought I would do them later on because if I iron it, the French knots might be flattened. Now I'm thinking, why did I leave it in the end? Because it's gonna get tricky. Anchoring and all that. Oh well. One thing to note though, okay, pretty sure I brought the purse here. So I literally just use their, I guess, thread organizer for it. This is the black, by the way. I'm only halfway and this is how much I have left. Less than 1.5 length. This is 1 length. Oh, this is 1 length. This is like half a length. And yeah, you use it to backstitch everything. And I'm almost done. So come on. This thread calculation is horrible. 𝐷esignWorks, what are you doing? Well, lucky it's black. I have enough black, so it's fine, but I don't know what to do if it's one of the others. I have heard that maybe 𝐷esignWorks uses DMC, but I don't know. But if I do use up one of these, I'll have to contact them and see what they say. And for coffee break, I worked on it for 9 days and about 13 hours. I don't know, I feel like I just kept stitching on it, but it just wasn't done. And I do get bored stitching the border, so I tend to stitch the border for a bit and then stitch the actual coffee to sort of change it up a little bit. And then the next thing I worked on was the countryside. Do I? Yes, I do. This one. It is a kit I purchased from Amazon. It's probably the first really large kit I bought. It is 350 by 262 and I'm stitching everything with whatever's provided in the kit. The kit uses 14 count 𝐷𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓽𝓾 and it's 2/1. So yeah, that's the best I can do. It is quite pretty, but it's very boring to stitch, especially there's a lot of white in between the trees. And my goal is to finish the first 3 pages up top, and then I'll change it to, what is it, Spring Will Come. Right. Oh my gosh. Hoping not to knock everything. I don't know whether you can see, mainly working on this side. And doggy is coming. Hey Rex! Hello! Good boy! The doggies were snoozing, but then... Good boy! Rex must have realised the hubby went out to do some weeding or something, so now he is intensely looking at the door. Rex! You okay? Come here. Oh, good boy. Good boy. Go sit. Go sit now. Good boy. Big stretch. Sit. Rex, sit. He's my big boy. Good boy. So I will do, I don't know, I will maybe get it closer so you can see, because I remember I did stitch quite a lot of white that doesn't show up obviously, so I might have filled in more here because I think I was mainly focusing on the last page. Sorry, did I say first 3 page? So the first row actually has 6 pages and I'm focused on the last page, this row. So can't see. Yep. Sorry for the wet noise. And I think I just picked a color and kept stitching, and if I could find it somewhere else I would stitch a little bit as well and stitch that at the same time. I would fill in the white, so sort of jumping in between, because yeah, the white can be very boring to stitch, but once you start stitching it, it does go quite fast. So I might have filled out quite a lot here and here, and I'll do an up and down comparison if I may. And there's actually a little bit hidden in the roll. I was trying to make this a bit tighter so I didn't, yeah. Wow. At the back I can see so much dog hair, oh my gosh. Anyways, so yeah, I'll keep working on this. Just a bit hard to put it back. Yeah, with this one I only worked on it for 1 day, and pretty much the Saturday just before the trip, and I worked on it for about 3 hours. But I think I did quite a bit, to be honest. And then the last one I worked on was a new start. It was the soda stitch chart I talked about our wedding day. And I'll just put a preview here again. And it is my very first soda stitch, like I mentioned, and it will be a gift, and this is where I'm up to, and I'm quite proud. I won't say I am flying through it, but I was very enthused stitching this and hoping to finish it soon. So everything to do with the guys finished. I've got currently 80 stitches left, and then just a whole lot of back stitching for the girl and sort of down here, and also some background back stitching. And so this pattern, the size is 62 by 52. It is very small in my opinion. I rarely stitch anything this small, and I'm at 96.3% right now. I'm using Markup RXP to stitch this one. And it's really cool because I don't know whether there's a new update. I'm assuming it did get updated because it can recognize the symbols even underneath the back stitching or the lines. So that was pretty neat. And like I said, I did convert the hair color. I actually used, what's this website? 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝔃𝓽𝓾 or something. It has a whole combinations of all the hair colors all the hair color combinations of thread you might be interested in. So I used one of the black/gray combination. I think it called for 310, 3799 and 535 or something, or one of the grays in 530-ish. But then, because the actual hat or cap is pure black, I wanted to sort of differentiate between the hair and the hat. So I did a combo, or I did a, what is it called? Like mixed thread. By the way, I am using 14 count Aida, and I did 3/1 just to fill it a bit more. So I did one of one color and 2 threads of the 310. So I think it looks quite nice. It is so cute though. I actually showed it to my mom, and my mom even said it looks cute. Yeah, I'm very proud of it. So for sure, next month when I see you, this would have been done. And I'm hoping to frame it in a hoop, but I don't know exactly how to do it. So I might have to check some YouTube videos. Is there something I haven't mentioned? Oh yeah, so I worked on it for 7 hours, and I worked on it for 7 days and about 20 hours. And I actually brought this with me during the trip. And I worked on this one for maybe 3 days, 3-4 days. Altogether 6 hours in New Zealand. Is there something else? Oh, this was actually an impromptu start. I planned to start it soon, but I didn't plan to start it on the trip. And literally the day before I was about to leave, like the Sunday, I decided to kit it up, and I couldn't be bothered transferring the thread from the pip and chip floss chips to the Annie's Keepers. So I literally just used the floss chips. I brought them with me. And turns out I actually forgot, I forgot to bring one color, and there was another blue that was purchased, but I haven't got it yet. But yeah, I was very eager to start this. And in terms of what I brought for stitching for the trip, I will mention it in the New Zealand trip chatty stitch with me later. Here I will not. Yeah, otherwise this video will just be too long. So that's all I've worked on this month. It hasn't been a lot, but I think it's not too bad. In terms of plans, so I actually framed the Victorian Elegance from Dimensions yesterday. I went to a frame store not very close to me. The one that's close unfortunately closed down and I didn't know, and I actually brought a bunch with me there and then realized I was told that it was closed down. So that was a shame. Then I had to Google for a good one, and that was the one I went to. It cost a lot. I have never spent so much money for a framed cross-stitch project. It was over $400 because, yeah, they use lacing. And the moment he mentioned lacing, I just knew it was going to be expensive. So the whole thing would take 4 to 5 weeks according to him, and once it's done, I will show you what it looks like. I think it will look pretty epic. I think we did a good job doing the combination and all that. It would be with 2 mat boards. Yep. And yeah, I'm hoping to finish our wedding day and the 𝓕𝓵𝓸𝔃𝓃𝓃𝓮 soon. I know I will finish this wedding date one like in the next few days if I can stitch. I'm hoping to sort of put their names up here, and I can show you because that's not their real name. That's like the nickname we have for them at work, and also the wedding date here. Hubby actually recommended doing name, heart, name. I'll see how it looks when the names are on first, and I also have to decide what kind of font I use. Gotta do some research. And yeah, then I have to research on how to finish it. I kind of want to cover it with something because I feel like it's gonna get dirty very quick otherwise. But yeah, I don't know how to do it. So if you have any tips or tricks in terms of framing something in a hoop, let me know. I know there is it's not the caterpillar one. It's a pretty big YouTube channel that had like a tutorial on how to frame something in a hoop, and it also shows you how to like hot glue gun a piece of fabric at the back to cover the back of your stitching. I can't remember what it's called. Maybe I have to watch it again. I've watched it before, long time ago. So that. And yeah, I also wrote I will keep going with the countryside until I finish, you know, the 33%-ish. So the first roll, the 6 pages. But I also need to stitch other things. So I am thinking maybe I'll give coffee break a break. But April does have quite a few extra holidays, public holidays like Easter, and there's Anzac Day. So I might be able to squeeze this in, or at least do some borders. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. So we'll see. But I possibly will prioritize other things over this one, the coffee break. And then I should also do the new starts. I am considering starting the mermaid box and the funny coffee gift one together next month. And that's also why I feel like I should give this one a break, because, you know, there's gonna be a coffee one already. Stitching 2 coffee ones. Yeah, not sure. And in terms of filming plans, I did mention in a community post that I will do my cross stitch stash video soon, hopefully during the weekend. and there's going to be a stitch with me talking about my New Zealand trip. Originally it was going to be a New Zealand stitching vlog, but I really didn't stitch that much, and whenever I stitched it tended to be at night, so the lighting was really bad and there was no point filming. I kind of missed a lot of filming opportunities where it was very sunny and we had like an awesome stitching spot, but yeah, I just couldn't because we had things planned. So yeah, it will be a chatty stitch with me talking about the trip, and I will hopefully give you some useful tips and advice on, you know, what you should do or what you should avoid when you go to New Zealand. We only went to the Northern Island, so if you want to go southern, I can't help you. What else? So yeah, I did film here and there and we had some awesome pictures, so I will plug in those in the Stitch With Me videos, hopefully you don't mind. And there is also the cross stitch table stand, this one, the review video. I still need to write down what I want to say, because I don't want to waste your time hearing me babbling with a lot of this, like pauses after pauses. So I need to write down what I want to say, and I need to figure out how I want to do it. And I also need to use it a bit more. I don't use it very often because I don't stitch on a table. And hopefully the Stitch With Me will help me test this stand out a bit more. And that's pretty much the end of all the stitching related things. If you want to bid me goodbye here, I will see you in the next video, hopefully. Bye! And now I will be talking a little bit about, I guess, life updates. There's not too much this month. You can't see it here, but I actually dyed my hair blue. Can you see a little bit? It's faded quite a bit, but the actual blue needs to present itself under sunlight. And today is very gloomy. It has been raining almost non-stop. I think right now there's a little bit of sun peeking through, but overall still very cloudy, so you can't quite tell my blue. I might plug a picture here just to show I did not lie. I did dye my hair blue, and it was the very first time I dyed my hair blue, and I really underestimated how messy it was gonna be. The whole basin, like the shower, the tiles and the shower basin were all tinted blue now. I don't want to completely clean it out because I know it's going to get stained time and time again. So I might have to use some chemicals after I change my hair color, like in a few months. After I saw how messy it was when I washed my hair a couple of times, I really had the impulse of changing my hair color straight away. But since it took a bit of effort to get my hair blue, I think I might keep it for another few months and then I'll change it maybe in June or something. And yeah, after I dyed my hair, we went to a wedding in the country. It was small and it was quite nice. The only thing is I was the only Asian there, which made it a bit weird because it was in the country, you know. And the couple had been dating for like 14 years, since high school, and they had a kid already, but finally they got married. So it was quite sweet. What else? And after that, we did sorry, just checking, there's an email. We did another D&D session, so Dungeons and Dragons. If you don't know, it's sort of like a board game version of role play game. You can be whatever you want, do whatever you want, but everything is determined by your dice rolling. And I am no expert. Our group was formed a few years ago, but because of pandemic, our sessions were literally, I don't know, 5 times? Maybe even less. So we only had a few sessions. And this time we had a new member, and he's actually from a very full-on group. So he was quite professional, using all the fancy words and explaining a lot of things, and we were very impressed. So hopefully with his joining in, our group will be a bit more leveled up next session. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. We did play for many hours. But normally after a D&D session, I felt like really drained. Really drained. Like I could fall asleep straight away. That kind of drained. So yeah, we're already settled for another session in April. I know it's gonna, yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. What else? I think, yeah, and then that's just the New Zealand trip. We really had a good time. We spent so much money though. Yeah, I think it's gonna take us a while to, I mean, we don't, how do I say this? We don't save for a goal. We tend to save anyways, but this trip did use up quite a lot of savings. So yeah, we're gonna save it right back. And it was my first international trip after 4 years, and it was 5 years for JP. So we have been sort of cooped up in our country for a long time, and it was still like a dream thinking back. Did I really go to New Zealand? Did I really go to, you know, another country? It was good. I felt safe. It was like a little bit different than Australia. It was more, you feel like you're closer to nature, but you still feel safe and familiar enough as if you were in Australia. So it was good. The only problem is, yeah, things were expensive. So fuel is more expensive. Food is more expensive as well. Yeah, I expected the trip was going to be expensive. I just didn't know it was going to be more expensive than that. So yeah, had a good time. Bank account didn't like it. And yeah, we'll talk about details in the Sish with Me video, and that's pretty much it. Did I miss anything? And yeah, I am about to go back to work really soon, and I'm gonna get depressed. I feel like the first week when you go back to work, it's really depressing, and then you just get used to it. But it's okay, because that week, the Friday will be a Good Friday, so it's a short week anyways. And I should be able to see you very soon for, you know, all the videos I talked about that I was gonna make. And in the meantime, I hope you have enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Any questions, comment in the comment section. Just ask me. It's a safe place. You can ask me anything you want. I can choose not to answer, but I will definitely reply. And yeah, just have fun. Bye.